Hello, 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 everybody. It is Tuesday night, and you know what that means. Another episode of Leaders Live starting now. And tonight, on this Valentine's Day, we are in for a monetary treat as I invite our guest, Alexis Murphy, to join episode 104. We go. Wherever this message finds you, I hope that you're doing well, you're healthy, you're feeling abundant, and we're jumping on what is today, Love Day, Valentine's Day. But we're going to kind of reshape and repurpose it a little bit because we are going to be talking about the relationship that really touches us all, which is our relationship with money, our relationship with the energy of money, and what does that mean? So just bear with me 1 second as we wait for Alexis to join us. She should be in any moment. She should be here any moment. The star of our evening tonight. Here she is. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And thank you so much for being the fourth guest of Leaders Live. This is episode 104 coming at you. Tonight on Valentine's Day, you're rocking your red.
Obviously.
As you could, as you should. And so I was basically just kind of saying, as we were going through some technical difficulties, that today is Love Day. It is Valentine's Day. And what we're going to do is kind of reshape and repurpose what we're seeing kind of mass media today, which is how to enhance love and the energy around our relationship with not a significant other or even necessarily ourselves, but with money, which is super important topic.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, everyone has a money story. Everyone has something. They have very strong feelings about money. They either feel very strongly about it, they avoid it, they just close it behind the door and never come back, or they're just obsessed and focus about it. And unfortunately, a lot of it has to do with growing up. Perhaps, everyone's life story that has it. Let's say one of your parents lost a job. Maybe that caused you guys to act a different way. On a positive side, maybe one of your parents or relatives won the lotto. Then you're very fixated on the lottery and everything. And it really comes from inside, and it comes from growing up, whether you like it or not. Usually you tend to learn and identify your money habits from your elders as you grow up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All a part of programming, right?
Oh,
we do a lot of things from our elders, and money is, of course, tied right in there to everything else.
100%. But, and a lot of the clients, right? So I do mostly taxes, but I do a lot of small business accounting. And a lot of people that come to me, they're looking for help. They are really searching for, they're embarrassed, or they're, kind of ashamed with how they've been dealing with money. They may have this like surviving, crazy, thriving business. Mm-hmm. But what happens is, they say that they don't have everything in line, and, and they feel shame. And really what I try to do is I try to empower people, right? I want people to come to me and learn. So I think it is, in order to have a good relationship with money, whether you like it or not, unfortunately, is to have, is really, I think one of the big first steps is to set your goals, right? You really have to look to see your situation, right? Whether or not you wanted to set a budget, or have everything ready in line for taxes, or just really get your business set up for success, you have to really take some time and look at it and not be ashamed of it and not be nervous of it and not throw it behind the door and then throw it to your accountant in April, or, when it comes time for a big purchase. It's just, unfortunately, it's like every relationship. You have to learn it. You have to go through different things and, just to try and, unfortunately, face it, because it's not going away. And
you is shining a light on it. I mean, opening it up, and don't be scared of like the boogeyman behind the door. Like, literally just open it up, set a plan, because that provides more clarity.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You go there, and I'm not saying you have to tear down everything, right? But because maybe, you like your little Starbucks on Fridays, and, and hopefully you can keep that. But the thing is, instead of what I think I try to strongly encourage is that don't be scared of it, but just kind of learn and embrace it. And it doesn't have to be such a scary thing. And, I try to tell all my clients and share with them, and, that yes, taxes are not enjoyable. True. I understand their fear, and, I might line up with the love of a dentist here, but I try. But it usually only happens with the first year. Once my clients come to me and I tell them that, we look at everything, and then, and if you're able to plan and you're able to look at how your finances are, you're able to look at your wants, your needs, and just not be scared of it, and just kind of try and retrain any bad habits you had, or just try and just embrace it if that's even impossible, if that's possible.
So how did you become the money whisperer, if so to speak? What started inside of you as a young girl? What's your money story as it relates to how it turned into your profession?
Yeah, I mean, like everything, right? Life is crazy. I don't know. I always loved math. My father was a CPA, which helped.
That's family programming right in there.
I know. So yeah, it was just one of those things. It was always, never strongly pushed, but slowly guided if I showed interest. And it just I just kept going, so I had an undergrad degree in psychology, and, I enjoyed that. But then, just kind of the job wasn't lining up with where I could see my future, and I just kept going, and somehow I wound up getting my master's in accounting, and that was it. And, and my father has been this amazing, tremendous guiding force for me, and constant support, which has been, it just kind of locked in my love of it all. I get to spend time with my father. I have any questions I ask him. He's so nice. And, it's just deepening my, it deepened my path to, towards taxes, which is kind of funny. And, and it's nice that, I kind of realized that even though it's accounting, and if I had $1 for every person was like, you're a tax accountant? Like, what? It's more than that, right? I love empowering people. Like, people come to me, the number one thing I hear when they come to me is, I really want to learn. I want to learn. And that's what helps. That's what helps your money relationship, your tax relationship. It helps them not feel scared. Because I always feel that, if I have a plan, if I'm able to if I have a plan, whether or not it's going the right way, you veer off, you come back. It's just, it takes out the element of surprise, which is just, really generally not a good thing, especially with taxes and money and budgeting.
Well, you so many golden things, but I just think that it's awesome and very unique of you to be able to tie in the CPA background with that psychology background, because off the bat you just said, okay, yes, we're dealing with money and brass tacks, literally, but we're also recognizing that people have these habits from their family. So it's a really cool understanding in a way that you integrate both of them, which I do not think that everybody has. So you're able to be very relatable. And just a little shout out for your Instagram handle, and just even how you like market your business, your services is very approachable, and breaks it down like in a very fun way. So I think that's what makes you even more so unique and talented in a way that you can reach people and they can hear you in a different way than just like a regular, you know, kind of monotone presentation about what to do with your taxes.
They listen, it takes, like, you know, some people ask me, like, how did you go from psychology to taxes? Listen, to deliver news to a client that they owe $80,000, I use every minute of that psychology degree to figure out how to deliver and tune, and then, you know, transfer it from a very scary, not great experience to a positive experience. And to how we can take control of it, and how we can change your position and your future, and turn this into a positive story, instead of just constantly recycling. I mean, how many people are in, like, you know, we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like, it goes on. No one likes taxes. Everyone's scared of it. And, you know, I just try, and I'm like, listen, let me teach you, let me show you, let's plan. It's, you know, it does not have to be one of, you know, something that's such a scary, awful thing. And yeah.
You know, as a client of yours, I have been going through this practice over the last couple of weeks, and I could resonate with the feeling of like, oh man, oh, too many matcha lattes. Like, let's not even go there. I don't want to add up how many matcha lattes I've had for the year. However, I must say that going through the practice, I felt a sense of empowerment. I felt a sense of, okay, I know exactly where all of this has gone. I know where I can tweak. I know what I could have looked at and said, definitely not worthy of all the expenditures on this line item. Like, it's helping me make better choices in the future, which is an entire learning lesson, which is what life is all about. So I totally can see what you mean, that like setting a plan and actually looking at it provides clarity and sets you off for the future in a more positive position. So yeah, I got you.
Absolutely. And everyone is so hard on themselves. You know, they come to me and they're all nervous, and, you know, they could be making big bucks, and they're nervous and ashamed and like, oh, I only did this, or I did this, or whatever it was, estimated tax payments. I'm like, listen, be kind to yourself, right? Be kind. You know, you're doing an amazing job, and there are things to tweak. You know, there are just, imagine, right? I read this one time is, you know, pretend like you're your best friend, right? Your own best friend. Imagine your best friend coming to you and being like, all right, I have this amazing business. I think I forgot, or I know I didn't pay estimated tax payments, or, you know, I should have been doing this, but I didn't. And what would you say? You would say, it's okay. It's all right. You know, just be kind to yourself. You know, money is just, it's everywhere, and it's daunting, and it's up to you to change your spin on it, right? You want to make it a fearful thing, that's a fearful thing. If you want to make it a positive thing, it can be something that you embrace. So
Amazing. What I also heard you say from this is, no matter where you are in the money game, fear still comes up. You use the word shame, still comes up. So no matter where you are, to anybody that's listening to this, whether you just started your business or you're in 10, 20 years and you're feeling like, oh gosh, like I'm stuck, I'm not sure, like it's all normal. And you might have the same feelings when you hit the 6-7 figure business as you do now. It just is like a different perspective. So that is actually, I feel, refreshing to hear that it's just a human emotion, no matter where you are on the chart, so to speak.
100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. What else? What other like tips to enhance our relationship with this beautiful thing called money do you have?
I know. I mean, it's really just, it's like every other relationship. You have to spend time. You know, if you have a partner, right? That's another element of complexity. You know, maybe they spend a different way, or you spend a different way, and you just have to look at the numbers, and you have to spend time and look to see what you're spending it on, look to see how you can make improvements. And I'm telling you, like, knowledge is power. You will find and embrace And, you'll learn to break some of your bad habits. You will see maybe it's really not that bad. You will see so many things. It's eye-opening, and and taxes are every year. It's just, they're all the time. And, as a, it is, it's in this, I keep focusing on small businesses, but like, there you have a lot you can control with a small business, where as far as expenses and, ways to kind of veer and put yourself in a better financial situation. And, it's a positive thing to do.
So set up this picture for us. So you started off talking about like with your spouse. So today's Valentine's Day, right?
Yep.
And so we're enhancing our relationship in multi-level, and one of them is financial. Is it like, how could you walk us through that? Does that mean once a month you're sitting down and you're like going through the accounts? Does that mean once a week? Like, what comes to your mind to share wisdom on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be no one's favorite topic, but after you learn you're communicating, you are taking a look at your financial picture. If you're like, for example, in my house, right, I like to spend money, my husband doesn't, and so it's like it's just a constant, a constant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the conversation, we're so used to saying the same thing, yes, no, yes, no, yes, whatever. But then after the conversation, the communication, it's enlightening. I say to him, oh, all right, you're right. Or he's like, oh, okay, let's do it. And just the connection and the communication and just talking about money, and have it not be just like a constant battle. It's the number one, it's one of the number one reasons of divorce.
Mm-hmm.
is money. And which is awful. And it's just one of those things that, I know no one likes it. I know, like, I always want to say that. I know no one likes it, but if you,
but we're transforming that. You're transforming that. This conversation's transforming that. We are loving it. We're loving money. We're loving taxes. We're loving clarity. We're loving it all.
And just communication, open communication. And it really, I mean, it's everywhere, right? You go out to dinner with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
One friend that does this and one friend that does this. And, it's everywhere, and it's in every relationship. And I always feel that the best way to succeed is just be open about it. Have a conversation about it. It's not such a scary thing. It's just a way of life. Maybe your friend grew up, a different way than you did, or I grew up a different way, and it's just, and you all love each other, and we're all, having a great time. But you can appreciate someone's perspective on money, or where they're coming from. And then, it helps you it makes your relationship stronger with yourself and money, and just kind of brings the whole conversation full circle. So to make, every relationship better.
Gems. Really perfect, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Communication. And communication is like how we relate in life. Like, it's how we're hearing each other right now. It's how we get around. It's how we order something at the restaurant, and it comes back exactly with what it is that we asked for. So this is like a very simplistic way to do the same thing with something that seems like a much bigger concept, which is our financial fluidity and abundance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it is, and it's emotional, right? Like, who doesn't feel, right? Look at COVID. Everyone left, like, how many COVID purchases, right? Like, you go through and you keep searching, you keep finding, you're like, oh, one more purchase will make me feel better. One more, this will make me feel better. And, you just get in these cycles and habits, and then you have to take a step back, or you have to just look at what's going on and, and realize, all right, what's bringing me joy here? Is this like the instant gratification? And then, which downfalls into a, perhaps not a good path if you don't have the budget for it. But, if you have a great relationship with money, you take a look at your finances. If you have a partner, have an open conversation, and you can look at your habits, and you can see what's, oh, it does look like every time I get mad, I go buy something. If you have everything, it's just, there's so many things to look at. So many things to look at. It's true. There's so many elements.
So would take us through what it's like working with your clients. So is that like in the initial meeting, or is there another like consult to set up? Like how does that work with the way that your business flows and vibes?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, so always, I always like to have everyone meet them on a Zoom call, if not in person, and just to kind of see what they need. You know, I am here, fine, to do your taxes, yes, and to get you in a better financial place, yes. But I'm here to listen. I'm here, you know, it's not always, it's very rarely we're like, all right, let me do taxes. I need my taxes done. That's it. You know, everyone has these like strong emotions and strong feelings and things that they want to listen and learn about, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to empower them so that they can go and, you know, no matter how big or small, or even as individuals, as families, like trying to save for retirement, or, you know, they want to have a child, or they want to buy a home, you know, I am there with them trying to help them set their goals and, you know, open up the communication with money so that they can figure out where they're going and what they need to do to get there.
Another key piece in the communication phase of money.
It's very true. And, you know, and after that, you know, it's so important to identify their needs. And then I look to see how I can help them, how I can add value to their life and to their business. And we set up a whole like custom process package. And a lot of times obviously the majority of the time it's taxes, but then there's other times where, you know, they just need to have like a business intensive where they go in there and they, you know, they're like, all right, so I have this piece. I'm not really sure how it ties to this piece. And then you bring in like the legal element, the IRS element, the state element, you know, every sales tax. I mean, it's very overwhelming. And, you know, these are all things that I know, but the people that I speak to, that's, you know, they're busy doing their thing. They don't need to worry about whether or not, you know, they've registered here or registered there. You know, I am there to tell them, you know, and help them in the process. And, you know, and they just like, you know, one woman sat down with me and and we went through her plan, and, you know, it was just like, thank you. I was really, really not looking forward to this. And just thank you. And that's what I want to do. I want people to feel better. I want them to have a plan. I want them to focus. I want them to create a positive relationship with money and, you know, not really hate to make my appointment, you know. And I tell you, and what I am very proud and very happy about is that it's always the first clients. My second year clients, they come back and they're like, great. You know what? I'm not nervous about taxes, Alexis. You know why? I said, why? I said, well, I gave you my check stub. We looked at the check stub. We did the tax planning. I looked at all the different elements. So now I have paid my estimated taxes. I know exactly where I am. So normally I'd be very nervous to hit send and give you my information. But now I know. And, you know, and how nice is that? And I couldn't think of anything nicer for someone to say to me. So.
That's a little violin player right there.
Exactly.
Want an appointment with you.
Oh.
Well, we're getting a few little chats that popped up and said, thank you so much for talking about this important topic. And so I'll just want to reiterate too, if anyone has a question about their finances or what's going on in their business, and they would like to have a question highlighted, feel free to, you know, comment that so we can kind of address that as it needs to come to the surface. But in the meantime, because I like to ask all of my guests some similar type of questions, I am curious to hear from your perspective, what does abundance mean for you?
So abundance. So abundance to me and my business and, you know, everyday life is just having everything, you know, being surrounded with knowledge and power, and just being in a comfortable environment so people feel comfortable to share. They feel comfortable to be surrounded by knowledge and power, and to walk away feel empowered. So it's not such a scary thing, it's more of an empowering thing, and just to be surrounded by support. And you know, and I try to make my clients laugh a little bit, which is fun and interesting depending on who it is.
Humor is the best medicine in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it is. It's just abundance of support. It is really what I try to provide, and support and knowledge, and just getting everyone to try and break the barriers and not have such a difficult relationship with money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice. And you did touch upon this probably in a couple different ways, but right now, what are 3 words that you feel make up the foundation of your business and of your services?
All right. I may have said some of those keywords right, but
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I love this question. I'll take it. The support. I am not sitting here judging you. I'm not saying, oh, you didn't do that. You should have. That was not good. That's not. I am building.
You don't have a tally list by your bedside of of everything that your clients did in their own financial world. Okay, that's actually really reassuring to hear. But no, really truly, like some people are probably like, oh, I'm ashamed to share this. I'm ashamed to really speak honestly about this. And it's because someone as such as yourself does this for a living, it's like, oh, they have it all together, so I can't bring this to them. So that is beautifully said. Support.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it is. It's something. And then, in addition to that is that knowledge, right?
Mm.
I'm here, right? I spend so much time studying taxes, so you don't have to, right? There are ever-changing tax laws, with COVID credits and the child credits and, the student loan forgiveness. There's been so many things. There's no way anyone could possibly have kept up with every single situation every single time. And then if you add a small business on top of it, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much. So they come to me for support, they come to me for knowledge. And then my last word, which I hope everyone walks away with, is power. Mm-hmm. Right? They feel good and proud and successful and really can address and look at what they've accomplished. And if maybe they're not there, then maybe they'll get there. And every little step counts. If someone's focusing on the fact that they want to have more 401k taken out. All right. So little steps, so then we come up with a plan. All right, how about do this dollar amount, this paycheck, and then gradually see how it feels, and then move up to the next one. And, you're trying to save for a home. Let's try these steps. And it's just, if you just, yeah, it's the power that I want everyone to walk away with. I want them to feel supportive. I want them to feel like that they've learned something and that then they feel empowered, which is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love it. Mm-hmm. Supported, wisdom, and power.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So this can be a challenge that you personally have gone through, or something relevant that you've seen throughout your business. Like, can you share with us a challenge that you or someone else has experienced and how they were able to get through that? Because chances are someone is experiencing that challenge as we speak. So what comes to mind?
Absolutely. So, challenge is an interesting way to say it, but there's many situations. I'll say that, right? There's many situations that I deal with, right? Money is very personal. Money is very emotional. A lot of times, this is money. If I tell someone that they have a payment due, usually they haven't been saving for it. Maybe they have, maybe not as much, but everyone, my new clients, they all tend to be a little surprised. So the challenge and one of the things that's very important to me is to, or I guess a situation, a story there, is that one time I had to tell someone that they owed over $85,000 in taxes, right? And it was someone obviously made a decent amount of money. However, what happened was it was an issue on their W-2. So on their paycheck, their department, their HR department, or when they filled out their W-4 when they started a new job, and they just started it this year, they didn't fill it out. So who knows? We're not pointing fingers, but
something happened.
Something happened, and not enough taxes were taken out of the paycheck. And and you kind of see, right? This person was very successful. Obviously, they're looking at their paycheck every year, like every week or every twice a month. They're like, oh, awesome! All right, looking good, and not really like analyzing it, not really doing some math, like, this kind of looks like a lot of money, not a lot of taxes, but they're like, all right, maybe, it'll all work out. And then they come to me as a new client and they show me their W-2 and I'm like, okay. And obviously not my fault. And not, the situation is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's one of those things where I have to learn and manage and figure out the best way to deliver really, really hard news. Mm-hmm. And that is, generally speaking, a part of my job I never really expected, right? I thought, when people get refunds, they love me and it's really nice. It's a happy, positive experience. It is, but for me, a challenge, I guess, in my job here is to try and create this, I get handed the situation of a difficult situation, telling them they owe a lot of money and trying to turn it into a positive thing. Mm-hmm. And trying to turn it into something that, like, okay, yes, not good, really bad, you have to plan accordingly and figure out how that's going to get paid. But then, giving them the knowledge and the information, the empowerment to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because, yeah, that feels bad, really bad. But it's going to feel even worse when the same thing happens again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where they have to adjust and make adjustments on their end on many different parts. And I have to try and turn it into a more positive thing, a more empowerment thing, so that we can make a different ending to their next story.
And it seems as though you did do that. So look at you. It seems as though you did do that. But yeah, that would certainly be challenging. Because people are like budgeting in their mind and spending in their mind, and then all of a sudden it's like whoosh. Okay, the plans for this upcoming months have now changed a bit.
Yeah.
The Mexico vacation may not be happening right now. Yeah.
Not yet. Maybe.
What else, Alexis? What else can you tell us now that we are literally in tax season? And I just want to reiterate again, because I see that there's some new people coming in. Welcome, everybody. This is a beautiful topic about how to enhance our relationship with money. So if you have any questions about that, especially given the season that we're in now and who we have as our guest on Leaders Live tonight, feel free to drop that in to the comments section. It's a totally welcoming place to do that. So in the meantime, back to Alexis, in anything else that comes to mind, we talked about creating a plan and clarity and communication in all realms. Inside your home, inside your business, talking with your spouse, seeking services such as yourself out to open up the door. Is there anything else that, we could all be doing to just enhance it, even if it's like a little bit more?
I'm trying to think, what else? It's just really increasing your knowledge and not being scared of money. Mm-hmm. And just making it a positive thing and setting your goals and looking at your wants and needs and identifying your habits, your good habits, your bad habits, and just realize that everyone's going through their own story. Everyone has their own money situation. Everyone has their own money relationship with money, which is most likely different than yours. And it doesn't have to be a scary thing. And the more you know, the more you embrace, the more you can feel better and turn tax season into a more positive experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just said something that's golden, which is identifying your habits too. So that's, obviously your spending habits, but maybe we're going to pull in your psychology here. Like, why do I feel the need, not just like, let me get clarity on where it's being spent, but why do I feel the need to spend the money there? And kind of like peeling those layers back. And this is like a fun question that I have for you. So when somebody walks in, right, to your office and you're about to set a meeting, does your brain go like, I know the money story from childhood that's playing out here?
No.
No. I mean, there are people that are not accountants, but money coaches, right? Whose job it is to look at, okay, where are the money blockages coming from? Why? And to write a story about that. I know that I've had an experience with that a few years ago where I really got intimate with my childhood and what I was seeing and what I was experiencing around me. I had a I came from a divorced household. So it was like passing child support checks back and forth for my parents, and, you know, what one was saying, what the other one was saying. And so it's like, okay, looking at that and saying, okay, that doesn't define me, but that could have been programming that was within me that I have to really continuously shine light on to say, like, okay, how am I acting? Am I relating in a way of something that I subconsciously learned, or is this like an active choice that I'm making to choose differently? So I totally can resonate with everything that it is that you're saying. And not only do we encourage everyone to seek out Alexis's counsel, but also, if you can, like, take out a journal and pen and, like, seriously ask yourself, like, we see this in, like, how to manifest our dream relationship, and, like, what does that person have, what qualities do they have? But, like, let's do that about our money so that we can all have more abundance, and we can have a greater conversation and open up the doors always so that we can all feel what our definition of successful is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so grateful to have you on Leaders Live tonight, how to have a healthy relationship with money. And Alexis really did say it all. Communication, creating a plan brings clarity and empowerment and knowledge, and we can all support each other in that journey. So it was super special to speak about this, and I think that people will and could and should rewatch this from the beginning. Take out like your note section, your journal and your pen, and just say, okay, like, I'm committing. This is my year. This is my time to shine in the money. All right. Amazing. Alexis, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everyone that joined, and you can find this episode recorded on YouTube later. I'll also post this onto Instagram, so you can take it, and no matter where you are in the world, if this is relevant today or a year from now, look back at it and enhance your money life.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you, Alexis. See you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.